up to speed, up to speed, up to speed.
Live from the apocalypse. You voted for him, dummy. This is State of the Game. Thank you for being here yet again. Uh, I am Dano. I'm lucky enough to have been in the room when a friend of mine in the military tested like one THC dot away from hot. He was on the right side of it. So like he had a lot of THC in his blood, but it wasn't enough to ding him. And his sergeant was telling him this, and he smiled and leaned back and said, "Must be too many poppy seeds, Sarge. All those poppy seeds." And the look on his face, the pure anger, is it stays with me. Thank you for being here. Um, and I'm joined by my co-host every week, who is beefing with Garfield because he loves Mondays. This is K Diggy.
Absolutely.
It's on site with Garfield.
Good.
So we are lucky here. We have one of my. I always keep a list, kind of in my head, of my 5 favorite producers in the world, and it's not because I think I know what that means or whatever. It's so I know my tastes and how my tastes are evolving.
Mm.
And so one of my 5 favorite producers in the world, the great and wonderful August Fanon. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. And we have an MC that I would best describe as being like one of those boxers nobody wants to fight.
Mm.
One of those fighters that everyone's like, man, that motherfucker's relentless. Defending the title shouldn't be that much work. I'm gonna go pick somebody up. Kendall Spencer is here. Thank you.
Hey, peace. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
You've released 2 projects that recently. I really when you guys released Losses, it was the first thing I had heard of you, and it was one of those things where I was like, I want to tell people more about this, and I couldn't fit it in the schedule, and it was one of those like regrets of like, oh, I wish I'd talked to Kendall Spencer last year. And then you dropped Rooted in the Essence, December 19th. And I was like, I'm back. I'm back. Because Rooted in the Essence is dope. I really enjoy these projects and where you are collectively. How was so what was because we were talking to Pink Sifu last week, and he was talking about kind of using his deluxe editions to get the extra out from the frame of mind he was in the last album. Is there a little bit of that Rooted in the Essence, or are they different situations?
Yeah, it's definitely that. We record so much music. August, he makes so many beats. It's hard keeping up, like honestly, but and while he making these beats, he sending me these beats, I'm recording. Like last year, I probably recorded damn near every day something. You know what I mean? Laid down an idea, I completed a song, and I just had some extra stuff that didn't fit this, that didn't fit something that it was supposed to. Our artists, we working on so much music, and then at the last minute we may change. Okay, I don't want to use this song, or so that's how some of Rooted in the Essence came about.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how has the reaction to this run from Losses to Rooted in the Essence been? Does it capture? Because it seems to capture your message in a way that is like, I don't know, the format seems better than before. It fits. Um, so how has the reaction been?
It's been good. It's been dope. It's like every time I release something, it get bigger and bigger. my Bandcamp subscribers, it go up at least by 30 to 50 people, and streaming numbers, they go up. So the reaction been good. I haven't been able to really like tap into a lot of the DMs or emails because I just recently moved while I put this album out. So I'm still getting settled and everything. But the people that's been hitting me up, been calling the phone, everybody like they digging the project.
Yeah. My son has never moved in his life, and he's like, "We should move." And I'm like, "No, we don't move because it sucks. It really
And
sucks." Uh,
listen, I told my wife, I don't think I'd never move again in my life, knock on wood.
real
Like,
shit. Real shit.
and then moving made me realize how much of a minimalist that I need to be when I get in my home. I want the basic shit. Fuck all that bullshit, that hoarding and shit. Cause man, I'm working my ass off right now trying to get it all situated.
Mm, yeah, you start from square one. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's uh, it's so and format wise, like August, when I'm saying like this fits and suits kind of the personality of Kendall, I
Hmm.
was thinking of um the conversation when the beat stops at the end of Granddad's truck.
Yeah.
Because you remember uh those 70s songs where in the middle of the fucking track, the track drops out and it's just he would just be talking.
Yeah.
Baby Huey has one of those, right? On Change Gonna Come, where the middle section, it's like 7 minutes, the middle of it is him telling a crazy story. Um, and it reminded me of that. I'm like, it's an old soul to this music to me.
Yeah, Kendall laid that out actually. Kendall arranged that like that. And that's one thing with like working with Kendall. Like when I send him beats and then he goes in and does his arranging and whatnot, and then he sends it back to me, and then I might make a suggestion here or there, or come back. He really makes full songs what I want to say uh major hip hop songs, you know what I'm saying? Like big songs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and so it really like brings out something different in my beats. Like, every working with everybody, it's a different process and it's a different outcome and it hits different. But Kendall's shit really hits. Like you said, like you said, the end of the Granddad's truck. I was
Mm.
thinking about what's the one on I was just listening to it on the new one on my Untitled. Let me see here. What? I like on that riveting energy when it's just the beat and the talking, or at the end of I think it's brainwash. Is
Yeah.
it brainwash? Yeah, man. All those intros and outros and all those, and then you know once we get in there and doing post production and start splitting the beat up and taking out sections and arranging and whatnot, it just opens everything up so musically, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
already do that, just off top, but then when we take it to that extra level, it just adds so much extra uh cinematic type of flair to what we're doing. And I think in general, like Kendall has that with like all his albums are like really, like I said, really big. They seem like major industry projects.
Mhm.
So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's that thing Kay, that you talked about of like nowadays songs are like 2 minutes or less a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And so sometimes you've come away like you're like, that wasn't really a song. That was like a thing you did, you know,
Right.
but it never doesn't feel
Mhm.
like a full song. And
It's
Kendall is
just
a
an
full
idea.
song merchant, a full song provider.
Hmm.
That's real talk.
I don't know. I think a lot of it coming up in that, raised in the '80s and coming up during that '90s era hip hop. a lot of that formula, what I just grew up just listening to and what got me through my adolescent years. I guess it just like it just stuck around on just the basis of building a song. Like I really like dig into like, the legends before me and study their process of how they put together their songs. And I think and like me personally, I feel like I got like a long way to go. Like where I'm actually trying to go. I'm not even there yet. Like I can't wait to the day when I can cut out a lot of the remote shit and get in like, a big studio mid August and we in that building and really building
Right.
some shit. You know what I mean? And we
Right.
bringing in some live instruments and just the whole 9 yards and like really honing in on like a sound and like taking the music to the next level. That's what I'm ultimately chasing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been talking about like we one of the things we talked about is like going from a spitter to an artist, right?
Mm.
Because you're like you may have gone to live shows and battled for the mic and battled for the stage time, and so you're like, I'm here and I'm gonna wreck it, right? And then once you're like, I've wrecked it everywhere, like now it's time for me to figure out what is my legacy, what am I gonna say, how am I gonna, how do I tighten every aspect of this up? um and that it seems like the journey you're on right now, maybe.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, even with like the music that I was creating at the end of last year for like I've been listening to like what a lot of people, the feedback I've been getting, the criticism. Like even when I dropped the Pearl's Prayers at the Trauma Center, I got some criticism that I didn't naturally agree with, but I was smart enough to say, you know what? These people are the ones listening to it. So I don't want to be the type of artist to be like, well, my music is just for this demographic. I want everybody to tap in with it if I can get there. So it's like I listen to the feedback and then I'm watching what other artists doing and I'm like, okay, I've been doing this so long. I didn't put in my 10,000 hours, quote unquote. But now it's time to start ironing out some of these wrinkles and really tightening up some things and making this shit just, that much more. And that's definitely what I'm on right now.
What were some of the criticisms that you were receiving?
It's like to some ears I didn't heard like well some of it is offbeat or
Mm.
maybe
Uh-huh.
it's a little bit slower and things like that. And it's just and every all of the music is intentional, like with the writing. It's
Mhm.
like I don't follow no formula. I feel like we done been through all these stages of hip hop, MCing and lyricists and the writing, the art of writing. Like in 2026, I don't want to hear just the same old rhyme in every other bar.
Right,
Like
right,
Mhm.
this shit need to be taken to the next level. It's like it's too many people that can rap nowadays. There's nothing special about it anymore.
right.
So I always was like, well, let me just do something different and just fuck maybe it's a rhyming sometime. I'm just flowing and speaking to the people, but it all tie in. And that was, maybe the ears that was hearing it, they wasn't ready for that right now. And I'm not saying I changed that because when I write, it's just whatever come out, it comes out. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, with like, it's similar thing as a writer. I was not, you know, I was not the biggest hardcore student in terms of grammar and shit like that. Um, but I knew my voice, and I could
Mhm.
always find my voice on a page, and so I had to kind of put my own mathematics together after the fact. But then I kept running into people who had all the technicals, but never found their voice.
Mm.
Right, right.
Never found their voice. It never felt real. And there I don't and nobody knew why, right? They just couldn't get to that next level. So yeah, it feels like you're really tapped in with your voice at this point. Um,
Mhm.
which is good.
Yeah, yeah, like no doubt, it's like ever since I started doing music, or even before I started doing music, when I used to have to like do public speaking as a kid, standing up in front of everybody, I always was complimented like on my voice. Everybody used, oh well, he got a speaking voice. So it's like I always had that. And I got, I got my own studio set up in my own home, and having that, it allowed me to just get totally comfortable on that microphone and figure it out how I need to just use my voice to project. And it's like now it's like I it's like kind of second to nature. You know what I mean? I didn't figure that part of it out, sort
Mhm.
of, so to speak.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Kay,
Yeah,
you heard it in reverse order. You heard Rooted in the Essence first, and then
yeah.
went back to Losses. Going
Mhm.
back to Losses and then digesting it and going back, how did it come together?
I mean, what I really enjoyed Losses. It was very interesting to me. I thought it's fascinating you mentioned voice because one thing that kind of stood out to me is like how in terms of your voice, like you can have songs like I think what do I have? Never would have made it. Like
Right.
that was an interesting song to me because some like you switch from some of your verses or some of your lines are introspective, and then your immediate next line you'll be addressing someone else, so who you're talking to in a song changes very for some songs changes really quickly. And I thought that was kind of unique how you kind of mix like introspection, yet at the same time you're addressing your family. You can, I mean, you have one song where you're addressing your family, and
Right.
then you have some introspective lines, and then you have some lines where you're addressing people who kind of doubted you at the same time. And
Yep.
there's all of these shifts in rapping and perception. I found it very very interesting.
Yeah, well, man, it's kind of like my music is just, I'm a regular person just like you, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Through the run of a day, we go through all type of emotions, you know what I mean? All type of thoughts. And I always been an observer, I was never, even growing up, I was never a child that just talked. I always would watch and listen. So I guess it's like I got all these thoughts just in my head, and when I'm writing, it's like it's just coming out. You know what I mean? However it comes out, it's just coming out, pouring onto that page. And so I listen to it sometime, and I'll be like, damn, I'm all over the place. But it's like just trying to cover so much, in that picture, I guess, you know. And it's like one of my favorite, many of my favorite artists growing up was the same way. Ghostface the same way. It's all over the place. Cujo Goody was the same place. A
Right.
lot of
Right.
other
Oh,
artists.
that's so good. Yeah.
They never stayed on. They never stayed on point. They didn't let the beat or the song cage them in.
Right.
They like the song may be about this, but they gonna go come on here and rap about this, but it still tie in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Well, August, have you heard Miss Jackson recently? Like that shit, Big Boy's verse on Sorry Miss Jackson is hardcore.
Right.
He's talking about divorce lawyers and shit. Like he's not playing. And one of the things I love about that, some of my favorite MCs, they allow bad things to happen to them in the music.
Mm, mm.
And I
So
think
like a vulnerability, you think?
it's
Yeah.
and some people will be like, "Oh, that's great because that's the truth or whatever." Honestly, as a listener, if you drop 7 albums where you never make a mistake, I'm never going to be around you to pay that off, right? Like,
Right.
I'm never going to be around you to be like, "Oh my God, you're the man." Like, we're never going to meet. So it's cool. You lied, made money, whatever. If the music's good, I'll listen to it in the background. But if you allow bad things to happen and good things to happen, you just made a more interesting song,
Mm.
right?
I feel like that's just like, I mean, we humans, we go through the good and bad in life, and like me, I always I don't mind sharing it in my music because I'm not ashamed of none of my good or my bad. Now, there's some things that I didn't put in the back of my mind that I want to forget, but I'm pretty much an open book because I want the listener to realize like, hey, man, this person, he just like me. He dealing with something similar or the damn near the same thing I am. A lot of artists, they only gonna tell you the good, and it's like me, I don't like hearing that shit. So
Mm.
I'm not gonna rap about that because I kind of make the music that I've been wanting to hear. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Right. And you do that thing which I think more artists should do, right? In terms of grounding a song in a detail that you might be the only one who cares about, but it's so intrinsic to you and you're telling the truth that it just made this song important, right?
Right.
You're sitting there like 89 hours in the trauma center, you know? And whether that connects to anyone or doesn't, it's so deep within you that the song is you now. You know what I mean? And that's an advantage versus, yeah, another banger. Like it makes the whole thing different, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So that's to me, Kay, that's one of the things that I love about losses. To what kind of what you're pointing out, there's love to family members and people that were there for you,
Mm.
but there's people that fucked you over, and one of my favorite parts of it is the kind of conversation around organized religion and spirituality that goes on.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
way too often in hip hop, we either get no mention of anything spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's rise and grind. Or we get like hardcore, boy, is religion great, and my life is fantastic because of it, and there's nothing wrong there. And we're like, okay, man, like it's about as believable as the other guys, you know? Um, so you were able to present like I believe in a creator. Feel that. I'm with that every day. But some of this shit is bullshit. And like it makes for a
no
total
doubt,
conversation.
no doubt, man. You know me, man. I come from a God fearing, pounded in your head church family, both sides of the family,
Right.
and I grew up like that. And seeing some of the people that was pounded in my head living not towards their standards, and then going on in life, my own experiences, and then dying on my job and coming back, and just the whole recovery process, it kind of like changed things a lot of like my thoughts and made me start questioning stuff even more. And it's like, okay, I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I know it's something real out there. I know that it gotta be that, but what is the truth? And it's like I'm on a quest for the truth, but I'm gonna speak about it in my music, and I piss my mom off all the time. She'd be like, "Why? Wait, hold up, why did you say this?" And I'm like, "Hey, this is my relationship with God, the Creator. I don't listen. Don't come at me, y'all Christians, and want to judge everybody. Like, just
Mhm.
let me figure this out for myself, and this is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean that's and just there isn't a lot of people doing that. Like there isn't, and probably because there isn't a lot of tangible benefit in doing that. You're kind of sidestepping two groups that pay a bunch, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
if you went hardcore, like all about the J man all the time, you'd be banking. There'd be CDs and Christian bookstores and stuff. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, I found that clip. I forgot what I maybe it was the end of Blessings Flow. Where did you find the clip of It was the father talking about Jesus. Where did you come
Fanon's got
across that? Because
clips, bro.
that
Fanon's got
was
clips on
brilliant.
clips, bro.
Yeah.
Hold
What's this?
on. It was on the Losses album.
Yeah.
Blessings Flow, you said it was? Yeah.
Or it was where it was the father was like, yeah, you know, you've upset my daughter by telling her that God is black.
Oh, I think that was
Oh,
later in the
That-
album.
Oh
I think that was later.
yeah. That was on Count Your Sins. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Count
later.
you said,
Man,
okay, yes,
I'm a
count you said, sorry.
I'm a bro, I'm a digger. Like the same way August dig that music. I dig the music, movies, clips, and I'm always hunting stuff. And when I find it, I just save it to my phone. But that actually came from a movie. I don't know the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
My dude that engineered it, he saw the movie because he was like, bro,
Ah,
yeah, he saw it. He was like, bro, I haven't heard that since I was a kid. It's some movie I can't think of it. Where the son, the dad, he adopted a black kid, so he telling him like,
right,
Jesus could be black. My son is black. The dialogue in it,
Yeah.
but it
right.
come from some movie. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Oh man,
That's
I mean, I
amazing.
just thought that was in terms of clips and experts. I mean, that
Yeah,
was brilliant. I mean, that was one of the uh, and how it shaped the song and how it contributed to the album. I thought that was a brilliant clip.
Yeah.
yeah. You know
And
that one of the funnest parts about putting the album together is finding those extras. And I
Mm-hmm.
like when I get to the point to where I'm ready for those extras. If I don't just add it when I make the song, like I spend like a lot of time, like damn near a month on that, like finding the right thing just to make it flow because I like I say once again, I grew up on that 90s hip hop and some of my favorite albums, they just flow continuously. So it's like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's all I know. That's what the music is supposed to sound like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
no, it's and the one that fucks me up, Kay, is the one at the end of Bloodlines and Blueprints. Like that's
Yeah.
choking up with the quivery lip on that shit, you know?
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
was another one. I just came across that clip one day somewhere on the internet and I was like, man, this right here gonna fit great somewhere. And that puzzle piece just came up that day and for what I was trying to do with that song, and it just tied the message all together. That
It
was
do-
another good one.
it does. I mean, yeah, and the way that beat interacts with that clip is fabulous. And I think that's one of the things like as we get older, we talk amongst ourselves and we're like, and I've known people that are like, I'm going back to church after a long time off. And a lot of it's because like you kind of miss being in a congregation of people, you
Yeah.
know? Like you miss being with a community like that. And the bonds between people and communities is like a big part of losses. And the bonds between generations, right?
Mm-hmm.
The moving legacies of generations, like so that clip hits me super hard. I think it's at the core of kind of what I love about this project.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I say, that song there in general, it was posted. It was made for like leaving that knowledge for the next generation. Like everything I talked about, from after the first verse when I went to talking about my last conversation with my grandfather. And what he told me was exactly what I said on there, and it was like, he instilled in me certain lessons, and he like, before he even passed, he just told me like one day you're gonna have to pass this on. So it was like the best way for me to pass that on was through a song because my son and my nephew, they're young right now. They may not understand it. And back to my accident, like, tomorrow's not promised I kind of feel the urgency that I gotta get this stuff out, and you know, to where if anything, God forbid, anything happened to me, at least you know my family got this right here, to where it can just continue to live on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I know there, for people not familiar, you had a work accident resulted in burns and loss of your left arm. I obviously don't want to get too deep in that and whatever. I follow the art and the music, but I had one question regarding this stuff, just because your music is so, like I said, the fighter nobody wants to fight, right? The relentless drive to pick yourself back up, put yourself back together. In the breakdown, I kind of wrote that this music connects with me. I'm a very driven person. Um, but I'm so driven that it's annoying to the people around me at times. And they would love for me to calm the fuck down. And I feel that in your music where there's a sides where you're like, these motherfuckers are treating me crazy. And I'm like, that's because, you feel like a wear and tear on the people around you as you try and carry all this. Am I imagining that? Is that real?
Um, no, not necessarily, because you know a part of it, like what drives me is like you know my family, my kids, and I always was the breadwinner, and a lot of all the responsibility outside the home, making the house a home, I took on, and it's like you know getting hurt on your job, you know, shit sucks. You know what I mean? I look back, I wish I was in fucking Las Vegas, goddamn, living it up, and this would have happened to me. You know what I mean? But
Right.
so it's like, okay, this didn't happen to me. Well, I'm still here, and I still got this family, and they still depending on. So I gotta figure it out, and I gotta get up and get it, and I gotta go even extra harder now. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people around me, like close ones, you know, I could have just faded to black and just chilled out. Like that's what a lot of people was expecting, and I'm like. Like hell no, my life ain't over. You know, I still got like a bunch of cards up my sleeve, so I'm finna prove all y'all wrong. Like, you know, yeah, this happened, but watch how I bounce back and turn this situation around. And it's just, you know, it's just that's like my attitude waking up in the morning and going to bed. So it comes out in the music because it's like I got so much I gotta do and so much time. I can't, you know, I done lost so much time that you know it's balls to the walls right now, and it's like I even told my family, me moving back home,
Mhm.
like you know, man, get out my way. You know what I mean? Let me do what I got to do, and that's just what it is. You know?
Mm.
Man, listening to your description, it sounds so beautiful because you've allowed this to kind of clear the clutter out of your vision to like it's forward, that's where I'm going, that's where I need to be. Every fiber is that way. Um, and that's powerful. That's
Yeah,
free. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. You know, it's like you get a second chance at life, or whatever happened. You know, something happened in your life that like just it's like that light. It's like a light switch just get clicked on. It's like okay, I got no more time for games or anything. But you know, really, like I always been like that sort of a speak. You know, even before my accident, when it was time to work, I'm there to put in the work, and and I always had that fight and that dog in me. You know, just this is what it's been.
Mm.
That makes sense. Yeah. Uh, and um, I don't know if I've said this to you before, August. I just think normally a producer in your stature would be like fighting into Stove God's DMs to drop the triumph in there and be like, hey, you should check this out. And
Right.
like the beautiful thing is if you're interested in the person making the music, if they're interesting and they're good, you're like, let's do it, you know,
Right.
and you lace them up. And so it kind of levels the playing field out there where like up and coming rappers are like, if I get really good at this shit, I could get an August Fanon beat.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've been had in my mind for a while, just like this idea that I somehow that I could split the difference and climb as high as possible, but still make myself available to people close to the ground. But also, it's also in the vision of me wanting to build a label. I have to be on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I have,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because like Stove God's not signing to my label. You know what I'm saying? Like, or he's not gonna fuck
Right.
with me like that. So I need to be always looking for new artists and whatnot. And also I like it. You know, I like being maybe not the first person that Kendall's worked with, but like a big part of his trajectory, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a great artist, and like I've done that, you know. And so like anybody that's really talented and wants to work and makes sense, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's get it on, man. You know, because like I think that's to me that's what it's all about. Just making dope music. I mean, I'm not a I'm not a cloud chaser. I'm not a gatekeeper. You know, I try to hedge against those things anyway, as much as possible.
Right.
And I just want to just continue just make just dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
different stuff. You know,
that
yeah.
that kind of ties into a question I had for both of you. Like I wrote this down. So August, my question for you is why do you make music? What do you get out of music? And then for Kendall, my question was why do you rap? What do you get out of rapping?
This is good.
Why do I make music?
Yeah.
I cliche. I love it, but no, I mean that's true. But it just always just fascinated me, you know. And even now, like I can make a beat, you know. I'll probably when I got this podcast with you guys, I'll make a beat, and it'll just really fascinate me. And the fact that I can do it well and do it quickly, like okay, well let's make another one, you know. And it's just like wow, this is crazy, you know. And to have other people resonate with other people is a blessing, and it's always something that I wanted to do, you know, like. And so I don't know. It's just everything. I just love it. I just love making music. It's just everything to me.
Yeah. I mean, I look. My question for that K would just be, why does he think he gets the best work out of everyone? Like, why is it that everyone makes their best shit with Fanon?
Mm.
Mm,
One of the
mm,
first clips I had, August, I don't you get I gotta find it, show it, send it to you, was I got to interview Def C about the pressure of doing a project with August Fanon.
mhm.
And the pressure you put on yourself not to fuck the opportunity up. And it's a beautiful clip.
Mm.
But that really set the stage for like, damn, like Sleep's best shit now, like everything's best shit, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's
I
awesome.
see you got the sleep hat. I got something for you a little later. I got something about some sleep. You know, we got some shit. But
I
yeah,
love it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to say because I am one of the best producers. So I'm producing some of the best shit from these guys. You know, but I also think that you know these are some of the like I said, it's me, but it's also all these artists being some of the greatest artists around and being able to find their uh their own space within my sound and carving it out. Like, I mean, because Kendall's music sounds totally different from anything I'm doing with anybody else, and
100%.
that's part on Kendall too, and what he's bringing to the table. Like I said, arranging, helping split apart songs and doing this and adding all those extras and like you said, like you was talking about before about mixing up the rapping and all that kind of stuff. That's what makes him special, you know. And so put those two things together, you know, it just magic, you know, and it's uh but it's magic it's a magic with a lot of people, you know. I don't know. I like to think it's because I'm really good, you know, in a nutshell. But
I
I don't
like
know.
that.
I don't know.
I
It's that.
Kendall, I have a theory. I have a theory on this to kick to you.
I would say with August is that production is just like as dope as it is and as great as it is, man. It's like it's so much freedom for an artist like me. I'm not gonna speak for any of the other guys, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna tell you the same thing. It's so much freedom in there to just, man, it's like I can lay down and get fucking comfortable in his beats. And it's like other producers, you don't find that. Not saying other dudes ain't dope, because it's a lot of dope guys out there making
Sure,
dope shit, but
sure.
it's something different about August shit. Like, I done had other dudes send me shit, and it fucking take me like weeks to fucking write to it. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's like August shit, when I find the shit that I like, man, that shit just comes. Like I hear it. Sometimes I fucking will write that fucking whole shit in a matter of goddamn minutes, and now I'm loading up my fucking DAW and I'm recording it, and it's like, damn, okay, damn, we got something here, and it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man, there's something
Other
about
people
it.
have said this. Other people said this. I have a say. You're segueing into my point. One word that August said, I think, is important to space. Right. The beats have space to get introspective, to really feel what's going on. A lot of times when you're listening to producers, rap producers, you're hearing kind of blocks of sound.
Mm.
With Fanon, you're hearing notes. Notes will hang, and you'll be like, God, that horn is beautiful. Like you're really sitting with it, and so that's the kind of stuff that resonates. You know?
Yeah.
It's hypnotizing. Some of his shit, especially that jazz shit. Man, when he go to in that jazz bag and he pull out them fucking
Yeah.
saxophones, like, man, I just be sitting at the house like, fucking, oh my God. Like seriously, and I was just telling them about it the other day when I was listening to some of the remixes. And I'm like, fuck. I'm listening to these beats like, damn, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Johnny Hodges hang time. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Straight up.
That's crazy. So
Straight
yeah,
up.
that's the Fanon segment. But what is your side of that question? Why do you rap? What do you get out of that? Like how
Man, I just I have to. It's the music day one. It's been therapy for me. It's been my outlet to get everything in my head out. And at this point in my life, especially on what I just went through, man, if I didn't have the music, oh God, man, I don't even think my psychiatrist could have helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right, right.
And it's just that's what it's always been for me. It's been my outlet to get it out my head. Because as a child, I never expressed myself verbally well. I could always write, but just like telling somebody how I felt, you would have to be damn near like my mom or my dad for me to open up, and not even to them to a certain extent. But the music, man, it's like, okay, man, I could just release and unload, and then it just comes all out. So I have to do it, man. If nobody was listening to me, I would still be making music. I done had everybody in my life except my wife and my kids tell me maybe it's time to lay this down, and I look at them like, man, you know what I mean? Shit ain't happening. Like, especially
Right,
right
right.
now, it's like, nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's not enough people who explain that like there's a public expectation that you are becoming a rapper to get on, you know? And there isn't a public acceptance that like, nah, I just do this. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? If you see an old person in the park writing, you don't go, "Why you bother writing? What's going on, old man?" Like, that's just the journey of that person's life. But like a rapper, it'd be like, hang it up. You're like, you're not Little Wayne. I'm like, nah, dude, I didn't start this to be Little Wayne. Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to be me. Um, but yeah, that's important. Um, yeah, great question, Kay. Um, the other thing, Kay, about Losses, it's our kind of album, right? We love 3 song runs. We're always talking about best 3 song runs.
Mhm.
And to me, there's multiple 3 song runs on Losses that is just fucking nuts.
Mhm. I agree.
The first 3 songs, Forbidden Fruit, Heaven's Baby, The Triumph. I mean, by the end of that, by the end of the triumph, you're in. Like that's you know the character of the album and you're in, you know? Uh, and that's a successful first 3. The other one is Blessings Flow, Never Would Have Made It, Bloodlines and Blueprints, which I think that's crazy. And the final Granddad's Truck, Count Your Sins, Soldier. Whew,
Yeah.
Yeah, them
Yeah.
3.
that's crazy. Kay, did you have any favorite runs on there?
Did you? Because the order I had, maybe I have a different order. This is odd. So I
Oh,
like
you have a deluxe
I
thing?
so I liked Built Like This, Never Would Have Made It, Blessings Flow.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I okay, but I
No,
thought
what happened was see, I did release a deluxe of it, so Kay, you probably talking about the deluxe one, and
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Dad is talking
I'm
about
talking
the
about the
one
regular,
that
yeah.
Bandcamp exclusive. Because on the deluxe, I took Forbidden Fruit off of it for some reason. I don't know why, and I added a few more songs onto that.
oh, okay. Did you change the order?
Oh,
Is the order a little
Yeah,
different?
and I changed the order of it too,
yeah.
just
Okay.
to
So
like
you're
get just to like throw a little
looking.
spin on it for the people, you know.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
just
So
seeing this now. Okay. I was
yes. So
looking at the original.
that my like my favorite song on the project was Built Like This. I thought that was just like a one of the most hypnotizing beats that I wish I had heard this in 2025 because I said this was one of the most hypnotizing beats I've heard this year. But I loved Built Like This, Never Would Have Made It, and Blessings Flow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then, but you're right. There are other runs. I mean, and we're talking about the deluxe, Granddaddy's Truck, Count Your Sins, and Bloodlines and Blueprints.
Oh, crazy. That's
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um,
and and I just saw each run. Like I said, it just the shifts in perspectives and what each song is about and who you're rapping to, who you're talking to, in each song. Like I just thought like those 2 runs, in my opinion, were the embodiment of like what your gift is in terms of rapping, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it's another important thing about Losses, Kendall, is like as a writer, I'm always thinking in my head, fuck, did I already say this in a different thing? Am I repeating myself? Um, and someone has to step in and say, no, these are sister ideas. You're building themes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're exploring a theme. So like Losses has clear intentions as to what you're talking about, but none of these songs sound like, you didn't need that when you already had this one. You know, everything's building, you know, and I think that's good for people who are trying to make albums to think about. Um,
Yeah, well, it's crazy, listening to the you guys' takes on it and everything, because a lot of that album was recorded. Well, like when I first started making losses and I started on it after I released the Trauma Center back in 2024 and August, October. It was like I went after I finished both of the trauma centers. I kind of like had writer's block, and when I usually get like that, I know it's time for me to pull away from the music and start living and figuring and doing some other things. And August, he's sending them packs, and it was like 2 weeks in he was sending some packs, and I was hearing some beats, and I was back to fucking writing music, and I came up with like these 9 songs. And I was like, damn, what I had planned for after trauma center, I like, this don't sound like that. I like, this sound like something different. So me and my wife listening to him, And I'm like, and I came up with the concept of losses because that's what the music sound like. And you know, I went on just creating music for the next 6 months. And those 9 songs, I got tired of them. I was like, I got tired of the whole Losses project because I was getting it mixed and mastered, and shit wasn't coming back sounding like I wanted it to sound.
Mhm.
And I was very frustrated with it. So August, you know, he's sending beats and all his packs, they sound different. You know what I mean? Whatever he dealing with, you know, at the time, you could hear it in the music,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know, sometimes, and it's like, you know, it's a beautiful thing because I'm the
Right.
same way. You know what I mean? That's why it works. And right at the end of May, he sent these packs, and I got like a lot of those beats out of those packs, and I was out of town on vacation for my nephew birthday, sitting there watching my son and my nephew play, and I wrote Bloodlines and Blueprints, watching them jump in and out the pool.
Whew.
Triumph was one of the last songs recorded. He sent it to me one Saturday, and I heard it instantly, went to writing that shit, and fucking went home the next weekend, laid it down, sent it to mixing and master, and submitted the album to Bandcamp that fucking Thursday. And it was like, you know, Tron was one of the biggest songs. That was like one of the tracks that everybody
I love that
really
shit.
was like,
That
yeah,
sounds crazy.
yeah.
That sounds crazy. What was so when you were getting these packs and you have like beat folder access, what was it, what were you looking for from these beats? What did you find that like was there a common theme to what you were picking or what you were attracted to from your ear?
Not necessarily, man. Like right then at that moment, I was just building because actually I was working on two bodies of work at the same time. Like I told you, I got frustrated with losses, and I got in touch with a new engineer who turned up my sound to the next level, and I started building some different shit. And while I was doing that, the music was getting better, the writing was getting like honing in, and I just came across those songs, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna add this to the losses tape. I'm gonna add this one. I'm gonna add that one to beef it up. And man, it just worked, and it came out how it came out.
That's fantastic. Do you have any sort of, and this is for both of you, did you have any sort of album specifically or artists specifically who were kind of your North Star for like, oh, I like this direction. I'm listening to this. This is how like I want to go in this direction. We always use like uh you know, uh Pusha T making Kanye listen to Cuban Links over and over again for Daytona. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be real. Like during the making of losses, when Woods dropped that gollywog, that shit that just like flipped me totally upside down, and I was like, shit, fuck. Like I need to go back to the drawing board. You know, I'm gonna be real enough to say that like it's certain artists. I hear them and I see what they're doing. It is that shit inspiring. You know what I mean? I know a lot of artists may not say that. Not saying I'm biting off of people's shit, but if I hear something and it inspires me and it takes me back, it makes me reevaluate what I'm doing because at the end of the day, if I wasn't a hip hop artist, I'm still a hip hop sponge. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just all fits together with me. You know. I don't know about August.
Let's see what have I been listening to a lot. I listen to Sudoku shit a lot, you know, because we're good friends. So I
Yeah.
listen to his music a lot. I listen to child actors' music a lot. That's real inspiring. Um, and I'm always playing different rap. But I'm trying to think of what do I be listening to. You know, I listen to a lot of different stuff, but you know, some stuff I've been coming back to is the Kendrick disses.
Mm.
Over this last year, I've been particularly the big what was the big one? Not like a like not
Yeah,
like
not
us.
like us. Yeah.
And I like that first one that he did on the Futures feature. I like that
Oh,
for some reason.
Not like us,
I
Euphoria.
really like that beat. I really love that beat. Some old school shit. So I'm always, when I get I want a little inspiration or feel a little up real quick, a little energy. I always throw that on in during the day. For this last year, those have been some songs that have been really big in the rotation, particularly. But yeah, the child actor is always sending me some great stuff, and Small Professor, Sudoku. But as far as the North Star, but I mentioned them. I say child actor a lot too because like you said about that emotional range and
Yep.
hanging notes. I think child actor is somebody who creates a lot of space, too.
Right.
And a lot of it just whatever I hear, what I'm saying. I'm listening to Alchemist, I'm listening to people. I'm getting like Kendall said, the Gollywog, all this stuff is very inspiring. The Gollywog has inspired me to do the Gollywog remix,
Right.
all this stuff, definitely.
And to your point, like child actor is such a big part of Neighborhood Gods Unlimited with Mike Eagle, and
Mhm.
that's some of Mike's best writing. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
so I think, and it's he loves rapping over child actor beats. Like it just
yeah.
makes sense. So you get somebody who builds that space. That's a beautiful thing. Um, yeah.
I said a lot of producers they don't get it. They don't get it. I got a dude right now, he send me stuff and it's like, he want to work, but it just ain't. It's like, bro, you got. I don't need my drums to do all. I don't need all that shit. Like, what I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah.
do that shit, do it after I rap. Let me just send me some plain old shit and let me create a song and then. But a lot of producers they don't get it, man. They still stuck on that traditional
Yeah.
way of doing things, and that's the great thing about like August, child actor. They creating something new and something different. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you're right. There's this weird divide forming of like there is on one end a kind of sleepy boom bap that is kind of a paint by numbers boom bap thing that people do. But on the other side is this kind of hi-hat addiction, you know, that people are into. And it's that like, make it skitter and go everywhere. I'm like, this is the only thing you've got in this beat now. What are we connecting to here? So it's interesting to the space where things are in terms of music. Um, man, it's good stuff. And think about it, Fanon, because you did otherwise a blur with Black Chai, which was so sped up and so
Hmm.
kinetic. Um, and with this, like this kind of so soulful and so much. But re-listening to Losses, I was struck by how propulsive the beats are. They're like they're very muscular and they move.
Yeah, like Kendall picked some drums. I was just before the podcast, I was just listening to it again, and I'm like, oh my god, damn, you really got those drums cooking. And I'm thinking about forward, like, damn, like, well, how you gonna top this shit? Like, what I'm saying? Like, damn, this is like, there's like some like, I'm like, we gonna use these drums again? Like, damn, these drums are really, is really moving, like just like you said. So yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
It's yeah. It yeah, that the pacing is really good. The pacing on Losses. Yeah. Um oof. Any surprise moments for UK where you were like, damn.
Yeah, I mean the built like this beat that that was yeah. You said it was very because I was listening to it late at night and it was just very like jarring to me. I've never heard anything quite like that beat
That's awesome. Yep.
because it's because I've had this complaint in the past. Like I felt like a lot of beats like they were just ideas. Like there was I think there's a difference between simplicity and I don't what would be the opposite, like undeveloped. or elegant. Yes, elegance and undeveloped. And like built like this, that beat is there's something. It's a very simple, like elegant idea, but it feels complete at the same time. That's what was kind of jarring to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a great way to describe it. Kendall, the thing about picking beats with Fanon
Yeah.
is you find a beat you love, but then you're looking at that beat like, what if 3 days from now he sends me a new pack and there's beats I love even better than this, you know?
That's how it is. That's how it is. It's like the pace August work at is like I tell dudes all the time. I'll be like, they be wanting to send me stuff, and I'll be like, bro, one beat ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna tell you that ain't even gonna get my attention.
Right.
Like serious, like boy, you better come with like 50 or better, and at one time, cause shit, I remember like one year, August made he dropped like 30 beats in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 30 beats in one day. 3 packs came that year. I think it was right after Car Pass. And it's like you pick I pick beats and I hear plenty shit that I be wanting to rap on that he do. But like now I'm getting more intentional with picking them. But it's like if I pick something, the pace I like to be at with August is like when I hear something, I automatically go to writing. I automatically have something for it, and I lay it down. And that way, the next, soon as I hear the next beat, I can go right back to it. If he get a jump on me, oh, then I'm like I'm caught in the fucking spin cycle, and it's like, damn, I want this beat. Well, damn, I want this beat. Well, damn, I want this beat. And then it's like it's a race because like bro got clientele. He got people like that's hitting him up. So it's like you better go ahead and get this. You know what I mean? I had plenty times
Right.
where I didn't hit him up like, is this available? And he'd be like, yeah, such and such got it. And I didn't went and laid down a whole idea to it, and it's like, damn. You
Right.
know what I mean?
It's gonna come
Gotta
out
work
So
quick.
next month on Young Morpheus's project.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's good because
Right.
it's like,
Morpheus is dope. Yeah. This is great.
he but the thing about it, even when that happened, August got so much shit. Like the music I'm working on right now that he been sending me, it's been a lot of packs from like 2 or 3 years ago. Like he'll send me some shit like, man, you might have missed this one, and I hear something totally different, and like, okay, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, bro can sit up here and produce albums for every fucking body, and they all will
Yeah.
sound different. That's the truth of the matter, you know what I mean? And all his work, the shit sound different, and a lot of producers ain't got that. A lot of producers in this quote unquote boom bap community,
Yeah.
it's just a grimy sound, and that's cool, but I got more than just a grimy. I don't want to do grimy every day. I'm not grimy every day. You know what I mean?
No, no, no. No, and that's you hit it like you hit it perfectly where like there's so much Fanon in Fanon beats.
Yeah.
You know, when Fanon drops these instrumental projects that are like one track, 40 minutes, it is like hanging out with Fanon. There's political stuff, there's humor, there's everything in it. So, yeah, shout out to that. It would, yeah, so much good stuff. Uh, oof. Kay, do you have anything else before we go to recommendation corner?
Yeah, so I guess my final question for Kendall is so losses is learning, overcoming, sacrifice everything for success,
So it's learning, overcoming struggles, sacrificing
struggles
everything for success.
for
Yeah.
success. Yes. So my question was, how do you define success?
Happiness, man, and peace of mind. That's it. Just to be at a place where I'm happy and I got peace of mind. No matter if that means me living under a bridge or me living in the biggest house, I need to find it, that's what I'm on the quest for. You know what I mean? That's all I want in my life, just to be happy and have a peace of mind, man.
That feeling of like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be doing. Like that's you can't beat that shit.
Yeah.
For real. That's beautiful. So going to recommendation corner, just talking about shit that we're listening to that we enjoy. Um, you know, we booked Jamonte Ogbon coming up in
Yeah.
February. He's got a great album coming out on Lex Records. Um, and so I dug into Beautifully Black, which was his project produced by Navy Blue back from 2021. That one didn't hit me at the time, which kind of got me more interested in it. And it's really beautiful. This is really different from anything else he's done. And I know it means a lot to him as a project. So it was really good to get back in touch with that. And it's a lot of what's great about John Monty and a lot of what's great about Navy Blue as well. So I recommend that. There's a there's a kid from Massachusetts making noise.
Okay.
All one word, Blue Hill Bill.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, I got something with him coming up.
You see, I knew what I was already doing. That's awesome. But yeah, we're seeing him on end of year lists. He's, worked with Al Divino and stuff. So I got the project that he did with Chef Bogey. This is Blue Hill or something like that. I don't know. Yes, it's good. It's really good, and I'm gonna dig into some of the other stuff as well because he released a lot of projects. He's one of those people who released a lot of projects. I'm gonna get a better understanding because I'm interested. So shout out to him. Yeah, the third one. I don't know if I recommended this last time. Maybe I did. It's from 2025. It's a dance album that's pretty crazy called "I Love My Computer" by Nina Geraci.
No, I don't think you recommended that.
It's crazy, dude. I think that was so. The people have been posting. They're kind of like, "Here's my 5, 10 album of the year," and Jade Gomez posted hers. Was on her list. I love my computer. Really dope shit. There's a song on there in particular called "Sing Good" that is fucking amazing, amazing. So those would be my 3 recommendations, and I will keep myself under control for the rest of it. Anybody who wants my locks playlist, hit me up. I put together a title playlist for the locks. Fanon, what have you been listening to?
You know what? I just remixed Ironworks, so that's hot in my head right now, and I've
Oh,
been really flipping about how dope that. Like, I'm like, God, Jesus, like, because that's an album that, like, that's probably one of the least familiar albums that I was with Ka, and I've been working with Iceberg recently. We've been reconnecting on some music, and I've been sending him some of the remix stuff and just catching him up on what I've been doing. And he's like, you know what? You should remix Ironworks. I was like, yeah. So I
dude.
did that. So listen to Ironworks. Uh Half God by Wiki and Navy Blue. I'm listening to that again because I remixed that. That's crazy. Um A Distant Shore by Tracy what's her name? Tracy stop. The Distant Shore came out in 1982. I love that album. It's like a kind of like a folk rock. Maybe they might call it post punk, depending on who you're asking. But I like that
Tracy
album a
Thorn.
lot.
Tracy
Huh?
Thorn?
Tracy Thorn, yes, Tracy Thorn. Yeah, I've been listening to that a lot.
Found it. Found it.
I've been on that for like the last 2 years. Really, I'm always coming back to that, and I'm always playing that around people, like hoping they like it. But that's all I
I
got
love
right
that
now.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh I when I really got into Ka, I went back to Ironworks. Grief Pedigree was the first thing, right? I went
Hmm.
back to Ironworks, and Patience was the song that really fucked me up. Like I
Yeah.
really loved Patience. And so I wrote this song. It was kind of a song review on Patience, but it was kind of about Ka. and it was all basically like Ka is the American dream that you guys keep talking about. Like,
Hmm.
this is somebody who comes from this environment, is a productive member of society, and does all these great things, and is still giving us his art, uncut. Like, and I posted it, and he followed me on Twitter. This was back when he was alive,
Yeah,
and so I was always, man, that the Ka follow meant a lot to me.
yeah.
So yeah, that album was great, and I'm glad your remix is incredible. So, um, thank you, Kendall. What have you been bumping?
Um, those the remix, whatever remix August sent me.
Oh
I've
shit!
been on that heavy over my move. I told him he did the lucid. I told Bessie that's phenomenal. I liked the Arm& Hammer remix he did. That Mercy. That's crazy. And other than that, man, today I've been listening. Today I went back and dug into like Southern Playalistic and AT Aliens this morning.
Mhm.
That's what I've been listening to all day today. While I've been like cleaning up and stuff, and just some old stuff, some underground artists, man. Like most of my playlists, if I'm not listening to somebody album intentionally, I'm listening to some oldies, like a playlist, and it's just spinning the jams. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, I got one more. I got one more. The last month or two, me and Khadijah have been hitting this coffee shop in Flatbush called Classic Cups. And usually their playlist consists of just 80s hits. And it's just the best time. I just love sitting in there and just listening to George Michael and Tears
Oh
for
man.
Fears and Prince. And it's just, oh, I just love it. It's nostalgic. It's just like 3 hours. We sitting there 2, 3, 4 hours and just sit there and just talk about music. Like, you remember that song? I just love it. So
I
I love that.
and
Yeah.
that's what Kendall, we got to get Fanon remix albums to burst outside of the hip hop genre. We got to get like Otis Blue, the Fanon version. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
if anybody could do it, he could do it. Like I told him the other day, like it's gonna be some dudes like maybe take offense because it's like he peeling the layers back on this music and it damn near reinventing the wheel and turning an album into something totally different. Like even with the Woods album, the Gollywall, like I battle which one I love the most. You know what I mean? And it's
right.
like I find so much when he dropped his, he sent it to me. I had it. But when it came out, it sounded so different to me. And it was like, damn, like, God dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
God dog, bro.
I mean, but to me, I'm like, if I like the Fanon version better, don't come at me crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
come on, dog. Like, it's, when I don't know. You left your wife for a supermodel. It is what it is. Um, uh, but yeah, James Carr, you got my mind messed up or something like the Fanon version. You could go
Yeah, that
crazy.
would be crazy. That would be crazy. You might give him some ideas.
Yeah,
Right.
there's an album there's an album by Curb and Chris where they did and that came out in like 2005. They're from the Bay Area, and all the samples are like 80s stuff, and they're just rapping over it. And I always just loved that album. Just always fascinated me, And I'd love to do
Right.
something like that. I actually did like I did like a what's the group Radiohead, um, 9 Inch Nails,
That's dope,
and
man.
Portishead. The
Mhm.
Portishead one's decent, and the Radiohead one is cool. The 9 Inch Nails didn't come out as good as I like it, but it's all right. I'm gonna keep working on it. But yeah, that's the whole point was to eventually get into other stuff. But I've been so like I've been just on this run with this hip hop one, so I just been just
Yeah,
running
no
it through.
complaints. No
Yeah,
complaints.
yeah,
No complaints. Yeah, Kendall, when we did our own showcase in Brooklyn, the Free Music Empire, and we had, Fanon was in that show, and he's chewing gum and he presses the button, and it's his version of the lead single from the Rock and Primo's album, and that shit had just come out. Like, and we were just like, damn! It was like everybody in the crowd was like, God damn! Like, it was fucking cool. It was such a cool moment. So
I bet I can't wait to get up there and that community that's being built up there in New York. You're like, it's
yeah,
it's lacking down here. Like, I'm in the South.
yeah,
I was just in South Florida, and damn near the last week there, I kind of got a in with the crowd, and I was like, fuck, I'm leaving this weekend. But
oh shit! Just this
serious,
weekend.
serious. Like, these guys, oh, you could come out and do a show. Like, fuck, I'm leaving. But where I'm at now in South Georgia, back in my hometown, it's nothing here
No.
as far as in the lane of what I do. It's a lot of local artists here, and it's hip hop here, but it's on them. It's that YN music. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I'm at the point right now where it's like, well, maybe this year let's try to invest in a do it yourself, and let's try to build a community. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, because I want to get into performing. I need to get back out there on the stage and perform. I feel like once I perform and people really see and get a feel for the energy, like everything is gonna like start really connecting more for me.
Absolutely. I think that's a great plan.
Yeah.
Kay, where are you at? What do you listen to?
I mean, my thing is I buy music and then it takes me like months to listen to it. So the album I bought The Cure Disintegration a couple of months ago. And I listened to it for the first time on Saturday, and I really, really enjoyed it.
That's dope. Yeah. It's you never know when you're gonna do it. Like, I buy tons of books and keep them
Yes.
stashed for the right time. Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm gonna be in that mood.
There's a special Japanese term or phrase for that, like collecting books and having them in your place for that, to inspiration for later. And they had a phrase, I can't remember. I just seen it yesterday on Twitter. So much information flying by.
Yep. Yeah. No, and I go through moods where I'm like, I need poetry right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm in that space. Or, I need I need to get deep. I need some economic theory or some fucking philosophy. Like, I'm always trying to hit myself in different directions. Comic books or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah,
Me too.
just go different spaces. But yeah.
You have to. You have to in today's times, right?
Mhm. You have to. And there was also, Kay, have you seen that Pluribus show on
No, I've heard a lot about it.
I've heard, my friend told me to watch that. My friend told me, but my friend Tashard told me to watch that.
It's really good. It's really good. And it's really interesting, end of the world thing, and like, my wife's very connected to it. We're connected. It's one of those things we get to talk about. Do you agree with what the characters were doing and stuff? It's really dope. I like shows like that. Yeah, there aren't a lot of prestige shows anymore. Like, it's not that era, but this feels like it's from that era. So,
Oh wow, okay.
yeah, buddy. That's a good deal. But yeah, thank you for coming here. Buy Rooted in the Essence. Buy Losses. Follow August Fanon. Pay the money for the Patreon. Get involved. Get out there. Yeah. Thank you too for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you guys for having us, man.
That's it. Hey, pay those players, WNBA.
What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow